Please listen carefully.
Hello, universe. Welcome to the Optimist Daily Update. I'm Summers McKay.
And I'm Kristy Jansen, and we are part of the team behind the Optimist Daily, making solutions the news. We bring you reader-funded solutions news every day in order to change the tenor of news media, social media, and the direction of your day to help us all get focused on what's going right in the world.
7 days a week, we publish positive news stories written by award-winning journalists and delivered online to your inbox and through our social channels. And also, we are sharing these solutions in a commute-worthy, walk-worthy, home office-worthy, it's time to start thinking about Valentine's Day-worthy podcast. Today is Thursday, the 27th of January, 2022. I have officially finally put away all my Christmas decorations.
Really? Even the outside ones you had to have professionally installed?
Yep, even the outside ones, those are gone too. And I am pulling out my Valentine's Day pillows. So I don't have kind of robust Valentine's Day decorations, but I get really excited for the month of February. I think January is probably my least favorite month of the year because there's just always that post-holiday lull, and then it's just blah. And then February comes along, it's my birthday month, there's Valentine's Day, there's usually like a holiday weekend in there. So I am excited to listen to the Optimist Daily Update while decorating my house for Valentine's Day. Kristy, how are you today?
I'm great. I'm not a big holiday decoration person, so my house looks just the same as it has for the last 3 months. I didn't even do Christmas this year. I did a little bit of lights, but
You know what? I almost forgot. We have to update people on my first experience with Wordle.
Oh, yeah, you did the Wordle.
I did.
How was that?
I got the answer, but it took me 4 tries, and Ariel had to give me a hint, and I found myself super frustrated, and I didn't get the dopamine rush afterward. I was like, ugh, I want my 8 minutes back. You know, I think there are some people who are like Sudoku, or do you do that, or crosswords, or those kind of your jam?
I do like puzzles.
Yeah. I love jigsawing. It's the way that we understand our international writers describe the type of puzzles I like. I like building blocks. I love molding clay.
See, I love words, so.
For those of you who are on my side of the fence and aren't Wordle lovers, and of course I will try it again one more time, because maybe part of the pressure was that you and Ariel were simultaneously watching me. I misunderstood. I thought I had to spell it out vertically instead of horizontally, so that was confusing. But yeah, I'm not hook, line, and sinker Wordle, but I will give it another try. So speaking of giving things another try, I want to talk about my story first.
Okay.
Because it is kind of like making puzzles. My headline reads, ByBlocks offer a constructive solution for plastic pollution. Now, yesterday I was on the recycled textile beat. Today I am on the recycled plastic beat. And I love this because it's basically a story about grown-up, life-size, building-size Legos. We never tire at the Optimist Daily of sharing solutions that tackle the gargantuan problem of plastic pollution. And while trying to get rid of single-use plastics in all of our lives is certainly a goal, it's not the only solution. We have to find an end-of-life cycle for the plastics that are out there. Single-use, non-recyclable plastic products are prolific and present an undeniably challenging problem for us and for the world's ecosystem and all the adorable little creatures living in them. Now, a startup called ByFusion is offering another solution, shaping all plastic, even non-recyclable plastic, into efficient and convenient building blocks called ByBlocks. These blocks, which end up having a 16 by 8 by 8 inch dimension, can be used in all kinds of construction and don't require the plastics to be pre-sorted or even cleaned before they are compressed into blocks, saving time and resources. It's like yesterday, the textiles, no chemical processing. ByBlocks do have one disadvantage. They're susceptible to sunlight, so they're looking into coating of clear paint or pairing them with good weather-resistant material. Blocks can perform just as well as cement blocks. They have a full production unit in Los Angeles that can make use of up to 450 tons of plastic annually, and the firm estimates that it has recycled 103 tons of plastic so far and hopes to recycle 100 million tons by 2030.
So this is a great article, Summers, and I think we've written about similar types of ideas coming out of Colombia, the Kenya area, but this is the first time I've seen this type of approach with a production facility in the United States.
In the U.S., exactly.
No. And again, it goes back to that circular economy that we were talking about yesterday. And how do we turn this trash into treasure, right? How do we be smart about all this plastic pollution, which is a real problem, and figure out a way to use it without burning it? I wonder what their process is and how polluting it is, if they have to actually melt this plastic down into the blocks, or
it looks like they're compressed. It doesn't look like there's a chemical reaction or even a melting or burning. It seems like they're just compressed into blocks.
And the other thing that's interesting about this is the interlock design. It is like Legos, and that's a traditional building process. I was listening to a story about nails, the ubiquity of nails now. They're very inexpensive to make compared to 100 years ago. So all of our construction uses nails. This kind of construction would not use nails. And that's kind of an old school style of design with the interlocking pegs, the peg and post kind of system, right?
Right.
This could be an alternative to cement blocks, and it's stored carbon because it's not burning that plastic. It's getting it out of the waste stream and into our buildings. I wonder if there's off-gassing problems that we'd have to deal with. But hey, this is great. I like it.
You know, it reminds me of, as you were talking about the no-nail construction, the craftsman movement in an area of California that had a lot of green homes that were designed by some architects and the Green brothers. And my grandmother's home was actually a green home. And it was really lovely to live and spend time. And I worked as a docent in the Gamble house, which was all nail-free construction. And those interlocking designs made for really beautiful spaces. I like that this is hearkening back to a design from times gone by as well. All right.
Designs inspired by the past and addressing real problems we've got in the world today. My headline kind of talks about that as well. The headline reads, "This cooling bamboo system is a green alternative to air conditioning." Air conditioning is super essential. We need to modify our indoor environments because actually heat kills more people than any other climate related problem. I don't know if you knew that, but heat waves are really, really awful. And so this is an interesting article that comes out of Vietnam. It's talking about the fact that the number of sweltering days in Vietnam has grown significantly as a result of the changing climate. And air conditioning is not always the best answer, even in a heating climate, because there's exorbitant energy costs. And also some of the processes just add to the greenhouse gases that are just exacerbates the problem. So in a bid to find a solution, there's a multidisciplinary architecture agency, AREP, which has come up with an alternative cooling system using a low-tech bamboo prototype. And the system uses something known as the adiabatic cooling process, which is a sustainable and affordable solution to cooling down urban areas. And what the adiabatic cooling is, it's the process of reducing heat through a change in air pressure caused by volume expansion. So it's a thermodynamic thing, I don't know. But as the water evaporates, the air is chilled and then the hotter air gets pushed away. So the air temperature drops because of the evaporation. AREP explains that for centuries, ancient civilizations cooled down buildings using natural freshness of water through the adiabatic principle. So to evaporate, water needs energy, which is absorbed from the heat in the ambient air, and thus it generates that cooling effect. So essentially, the system uses three main components: water, hot air, and bamboo. And those are all found in abundance in Vietnam. As for the construction of the actual structure, the agency worked with local artisans who helped build it according to local crafting traditions. And they put it to test in the city of Hanoi. According to designers, the bamboo cooling tower succeeded in dropping the surrounding temperature by about 6 degrees Celsius, which is pretty significant, from 30 degrees to 24 degrees. And I think that means from I don't know, I don't deal in Celsius, but we'll have to add that in there. But it means it's a viable cooling solution for cities. So if you put up a number of these cooling towers, it can help drop the urban heat temperature, and it could be a solution deployed in different regions here in the Vietnam area, but other regions around the world that could help to ameliorate the effects of frequent heat waves without adding to the electricity load. It's sort of a low-tech, high-tech solution, which I really like.
I love this in design and looking to nature and looking to ways that have been done in the past as far as making better solutions. And I actually got to travel to Vietnam and visit some of their furniture factories and design factories there. And it was at the very early stage of bamboo being brought back in as a key material for construction and, having an increased adoption for usage in the United States. So I love this story. It makes me want to travel back to Vietnam. And go build with Legos. That's what I'm in the mood for today on the Optimist Daily. Kristy, what other headlines do we have?
Before we go there, let me just share that dropping from 30 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius means it went from about 85 down to 77. That's a significant drop. And if you're thinking about, that kind of 5-degree drop, that's like a 10-degree drop. So 100-degree day and get it down to 90, that's actually quite nice.
Exactly.
Still hot. So other headlines today, there's a rare flock of endangered pigeon species, which were spotted in the Australian outback.
Yay, birds.
An electric rail vehicle could become the future of freight transportation. Goldie, the porcupine pufferfish, is thriving after it had emergency dental work. Oh my goodness, fish dentistry. A newly discovered rain frog, which is named after a climate activist.
There's an article titled, Gene Therapy Could Treat Leading Cause of Blindness. Levitating ice leads to a deeper understanding of energy. Fitness trackers may be a helpful tool in detecting early signs of depression. I almost talked about that story because I think it's very interesting, these wearables and what we can learn about ourselves. And last but not least, a weird species of worm named after Godzilla's enemy. That and much, much more, as always, is available on the Optimist Daily. Here on the Optimist Daily Update and on our site, our socials, all of our feeds, we promise to continue to share positive solution-based stories with ideas on how you can participate in this changing world and ensure it is changed for the good. We promise to cover the current events with accuracy, legitimate sources, and offer you the information needed most to chart new paths for all of us. As always, please consider becoming an emissary on the Optimist Daily, and for just as little as $5 a month, support reader-funded independent journalism. Hey, Kristy, thanks for being here today.
Yeah, you too, Summers. And I guess we're late for our next meeting, so we better get going.
Yeah, we got to. All right, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow with more solutions.